Hey everybody, my name's Matt, and today in this video I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to make your very own e-commerce website using Shopify.com. Chances are if you're watching this video, you probably have a small company that maybe offers products or services, something you want to sell online, and maybe you're a bit intimidated about setting up a website in the more traditional way, or you don't feel like paying a professional probably thousands of dollars to do it for you. If that sounds like you and you don't have a whole lot of background in coding or web design or any of that technical stuff, that's fine. Shopify is going to be a really cool option for you because it allows pretty much anyone to make a really professional and functional e-commerce site where you can sell stuff to people all around the world, and you can do it in a really short amount of time, and you don't need any elaborate technical knowledge to make it happen. To make things even easier, I'm going to go through everything step by step in this video so you can follow along with me, and by the time you're done, you're going to have a really cool site that's up and running, and you'll be able to start doing business right away. One of the really cool things about Shopify that drew me to it in the first place was that it gives you a free trial to sort of see how it works out and see how it looks. So the free trial actually lasts 14 days. During that time, you can build your website, you can make all your products, basically get everything looking the way it should, and then make a decision if this is the right service for you. So at the end of that 14-day trial, if you like your site, you can just sign up, become a paying customer, and you're ready to rock, and you'll be doing business right away. But if you don't really like the way things are working out, or you find a better option, then you can just bail and you're under no obligation to pay anything. So I think it's a really cool way to sort of get your feet wet and see what your site could look like. Before we jump in and start the free trial and start customizing the site, I just wanted to say one quick thing. In the description of this video, there's a link, and I'm going to put it on the screen as well. And if you follow that link and you do decide to sign up for a free trial, or maybe go on to become a paying customer, Shopify is actually going to pay me a small referral fee. And that's sort of how I'm able to make these videos and hopefully help people get up and running with their own websites without a bunch of hassle or without having to spend a bunch of money. So if you do decide to sign up for the free trial, I'd really appreciate it if you use that link. Like I said, it's in the description, and we'll put it back on your screen right now. So once you click that, it's going to bring you right here to the Shopify homepage. And to get started, it's as easy as clicking this button, start your free trial, enter your email address, and choose a password. And for your store name, if you don't know what you want to call it at this point, that's fine. You can put in a placeholder and change it later. I'm just going to go ahead and call it Matt's Photos because I know I'm going to make this sort of like a little photography website. So someone's already got that. I'll just add a 1. So now that we have a store name that it accepts, we can just create your store. And the Shopify system's now going to start building that website sort of behind the scenes. This is a lot of the stuff that, if you're going a more traditional route, you'd have to do this stuff manually. This is perfect for people with not a lot of technical experience. Just go ahead and enter all your information. And click Next. It's just going to ask you some really simple questions to get the site up and running. Are you already selling? I'm not selling products yet. I'm just getting started. Yeah, I haven't made any money yet. I'm just getting started, but you can answer whatever's good for you. This third one is just asking if you're setting up this store on behalf of a client. That doesn't apply to us, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter my store. So what you're looking at right now is called the back end of the website. It's also called the CMS, which stands for Content Management System. And this is where you're going to do all the work as far as customizing the website and managing your products and basically everything to do with running your business through this e-commerce website that we're building. What you see here in the middle is sort of Shopify's step-by-step walkthrough of getting started, and I think it's laid out really well and it's easy to follow. All the stuff that you see here is also going to be over here in the left toolbar, and we'll take a look at that later. But for right now, I think the easiest thing is to just follow this. We're going to skip the add a product for now and sort of do some background stuff to get things started. Right down here, you can see that Shopify actually offers services for like point of sales for real life stores. You can also integrate it onto your Facebook page or onto an existing website that you might have for your company. I'm going to make separate videos for these other ones. For right now, let's just stick to what we're here for, which is creating an online store. So if you click here, it's going to get that started. And the first thing it wants you to do is to pick a theme. Whenever we're talking about themes, whether it's a WordPress site or a Shopify store, the theme really refers to the look and the layout and some of the functionality of your website. And the theme's sort of like a template that has a lot of that stuff already built. So Shopify is really cool. It offers a lot of free themes and also a lot of premium themes. So if you go here and say select a free theme, it's going to take you to this page that It's just a short index of the most popular free themes, and the one we're actually going to use is right here, and it's called Venture. and I really like it. It's nice and simple and easy to work with. So this is the one I'm going to show you, but by all means, up here, if you go to the theme store, you're going to see all sorts of other cool stuff, premium themes, more free themes. There's a lot of stuff to choose from. So spend a bit of time looking through this, find the one that's right for you, and once you do, you can just click right on it. Here's the Venture theme that we saw from the previous screen. Once we click on it, for any theme, you can check out a demo of the site and look at how it works and click all through it and look at the product pages and everything else. You can also see up here what it's going to look like on a mobile device, so on people's cell phones, and this is really important these days. You definitely want to get a theme that looks good on mobile devices. Once you've found the theme that you like, and this is the one that I like, you can just click Install Theme. And for right now, since this is the one we want to use, we're just going to go ahead and say Publish as my shop's theme, and it's going to go ahead and do that for us and install it right on our website. And once that's done, you can just click here to go to your theme manager, and then we can start actually customizing our website. So just a quick note, anytime you want to go actually look at your live site, like I said, this whole system we're seeing here is called the back end, and this is how we sort of interface with the site. But if you want to see the front end, which is what faces customers and people that come and check out your store online, you can always click right up here, this little button. That's going to open a page. And you can see that already just after installing that theme, we've already got a full layout, we've got a bunch of examples, and you can sort of start to see how this website's going to take shape. So we can leave this open just as a way to preview the site and jump back here to the back end, and we can start actually customizing it. So go over here and click Customize the Theme. And this is where you can make lots of changes to your website as far as the color and the typeface, the font, the font size, all this sort of different stuff for all these different parts of the site you can access right here. And one really cool thing about it, you can see all the different options over here as far as customizing goes. When you make a change here, this whole window over on the left is going to update automatically, and it's kind of like a live preview. You can see the changes that you make, see what they look like, and only keep the changes that you want. So once you make a change over here, you're going to see these two buttons light up down here, and it's really useful because, like I said, you can mess around and make a bunch of changes, and if you don't like what they look like, you can just clear the changes here, and if you like the changes that you've made, you can save the changes. But the point is, nothing's gonna affect the site when you're playing around in here until you save the changes. So it's really fun to kind of mess around and see what looks good and just kind of guess and test if you're not too sure. Why don't we start at the top, and we'll go through each of these step by step. The first one is called presets, and these are sort of like templates within the template. They're color schemes that have already been developed for you. And it's pretty cool because if you say you already messed around, you made a bunch of changes and you kind of liked it, but you weren't too sure, you can actually save your current website right here by clicking here, save it as a new preset, call it whatever you want, preset 1, and save. And then when you go and pick one of these other ones, boxing for example, you can apply the preset without saving since you've already got that, and it's actually going to update the site with a new color scheme. And it's just a really quick way to see what's possible. And it's changing all the different, all these different colors and fonts and all this sort of stuff. So if you don't like it, because we saved our site from before, you can just go back here and apply the preset that will take us back to where we were to start with. And then we can start going through and kind of make it our own and choose some stuff ourselves. So if you go to colors and scroll down, all these different things correspond to different parts of the page over here, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll show you how this tool works. All you have to do is click on one of these colors, and it's going to open up this cool little color tool, and it allows you to just pick whatever color you want. You can pick the sort of primary color here and then dial in the shade over here. For this example, I'm just going to go for kind of a really simple gray motif. I'm not going to put a lot of thought into it, but obviously for your site, you want to make sure it matches your existing branding and all that stuff. And that actually brings me to a cool point, which is this little code field down here. Every color on a computer has a code that just, dials in that exact shade of that color. And it's pretty cool that they've made it available for you, because what you can do is actually highlight it and copy it. And for example, say you want, say you picked a random color for your background and you really, really like it and you want to replicate that on other parts of your page, you can just highlight, copy that code like I showed you just now, and go down here and maybe, maybe you want the footer background to be the same as your header background. So you can open that up, delete that, and then just paste in the one from above, and it'll replicate it exactly. This is actually really useful because if you have another website already, or you've hired a graphic designer to do a logo for you or something like that, you can actually get that code and put it in here and just make sure that your new Shopify site's going to match your branding and your colors exactly. So it's a pretty nice function. It's cool that they offered that. This typography tab is where you can change the font style and the size. So I'm just going to leave it the same for this example, but you can see that there's lots of different options. That's another way you can personalize it. If we back out of here and go down to the next one, it's the header. That refers to the space up here. You can see that up here it's just defaulted to displaying my shop name. It's the thing that we entered way back at the beginning when we signed up for our free trial. So definitely a cool way you can personalize your site is adding a custom logo. If you don't have one already, there's lots of really cheap services online for like $5, $10, $20. You can get someone to design a logo for you. Definitely recommend it. So just click this, check the Use Custom Logo field, choose your file. I just made a really simple one, just like in Adobe Illustrator, but you can see it looks pretty cool still. And I should tell you, this hypothetical website shop that I'm going to be making right now is sort of a photography-based one. I actually did another video on how to make a WordPress website, and I made like a photography portfolio site. And eventually I want to do a video showing how to integrate this Shopify store into that existing website. So to keep things consistent, this is going to be a photography site where you can buy, you know, framed wall art, posters, all the different stuff that my hypothetical photography business is producing. If we go over here and continue down, after adding the logo, the Favicon is something that you should definitely do. You can see here it wants a 32 by 32 pixel picture, which is really small, and that's because the Favicon, if you look up here, it's this little logo that shows up in the tabs and in some other places, I believe. So this is definitely something you should add. I made a little one here. It's just a little camera. I don't think it actually takes effect right now, but when you launch the actual website, it should show up right in this little space here. The next thing down is called the promotion bar. And this is kind of cool. This is a way of actually putting in something, you know, just for a limited time. Say you're having a big sale or you want to push a certain product. You can actually make a bar show up right here that'll get people's attention. So once you enable it and enter some text here, just for fun, we should see it update, and it'll bring in a little bar up here. And once you have some pages on your site, like once we make these product pages, you can actually add the link here, and that'll point people right to this amazing deal or whatever product you're trying to push. So we can change the save the changes that we want there, and back out again and continue on down here. The next field's the footer, and that's what you see right down at the bottom of your website on every single page. And there's a few options we can mess around with here. The first is it actually gives you the option to assign one of your existing pages to the footer, which I don't really see the point of that, but to show you what it looks like, this template actually shipped with a default About Us page. So if we click that, we're actually going to see the About Us content show up down here. So I guess it could be, you know, it could be useful if you had a contact form or a Contact Us page and you want that to show up everywhere. But to me, this is probably not what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And what's much more common in footers is to see different menus, and that's what the next options here give us. So we have two places for menus, and you can see this blank space. I believe that's going to be the second one. So there's another option. We can go in and make our own custom menus, but for right now we have a footer menu and we have a main menu. So let's keep the footer menu here, and let's put the main menu in the second menu area, and it should show up right here. Great. And like I said, we'll go into the menus and we can make a custom footer menu. We can change what these things are called. You know, it could be like important links or whatever you wanted to do. I'll show you how to do it in a bit. So the third one here is the newsletter. You can see that it defaults to showing it here. I believe you actually need to sign up for a MailChimp account to take advantage of this, and I'm not sure if it's a free thing or not, but for right now, I'm going to get rid of it. You can see the link here. If you actually open that up, it's going to bring up a Shopify tutorial on how to set that up, and it goes through it in quite some detail. So if that's something you want to set up a newsletter, then by all means, check out that page. But for right now, I'm going to save the changes we made to the footer. We can back out of here. And the next one is the homepage slideshow, and that's what I was talking about up here. Some people call it a slider or a carousel, but it's a really common way to highlight, you know, your latest blog post or your latest product or whatever's going on, whatever you want people to see front and center. This is where it's going to be, and it's going to be a big element of your homepage. So let's go ahead and click on homepage slideshow. First thing we're going to do is put an image in. I don't have a lot of different stuff, but eventually what we're going to do is create product pages for all the different stuff that we sell. And in my case, for this photo business, it's going to be different framed art prints. So I'm just going to use some of the same photos that I have for that, for my slider, because they're high quality images and they're going to look really cool. So go ahead and pick your image. You can see here it wants it to be 1800 by 1000. I believe this one I just uploaded is 1920 by 1080. So we're going to find out. How that looks. So to me, it looks pretty sweet. I don't see any problem with that size difference at all. So next we can change this. If you don't want it to welcome to the shop, you can say whatever you want. We'll see how that looks. And here you can see this button corresponds to right over here, the subheading text. So this is another example of once we have more of our pages, like we're going to make collections, which are essentially like product lines, and then we're going to make product pages, and we can come back here and change where this links to. But for right now, it's going to link to the parent page of all our collections, all our product lines. So it's sort of our main product page. So I think that's fine for right now. If you go ahead and enable more sliders, it's actually going to make this a true carousel. So this is a way to highlight multiple products or different blog posts, or essentially make really good use of this, the best spot on your website. So it's definitely worth setting up some more of these carousel items. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll enable the second slider and we'll pick another picture. And we'll come up with some more text as well. And add another subheader, so whatever you want it to be. And eventually, like I said, we can link this up to specific products, specific collections, specific blog posts, whatever you want it to be. So right now I'm going to leave it blank. It's not going to have a link, but that's just fine for now. So if we head down, you can see that you can add up to 5 different sliders. And personally, I think any more than that, it's probably going to get a little too cluttered. And, I'd say even like 3 or 4 is totally enough. And you should try to make it really topical. Whatever your big product or sale or thing that you have going on at the time should live up here. So I'm going to go ahead and save the changes for that. And you can see right away with the addition of these big photos, our site's really starting to take some shape, and it's starting to look pretty cool. We can back out of here, and before we continue down to some of these other options, I actually want to show you how to make some products and some of those product lines, the collections that we just talked about a moment ago. So to get there, we can, first of all, always, if you've made any changes, just go down here and check out if you have to save them. Because these buttons aren't lit up right now, we know that all the changes are saved, so we can go back up over here to the top left, go back to themes. It's going to take us to the main sort of CMS area that we were in before. Using this toolbar over here on the left is kind of cool. If you hover over this left part, it's going to open up the main toolbar, and then if you click on any of these, it'll open up sort of the sub one. So if we just click on products and click on products here, we can go in and start actually adding products. Like I said before, this is going to be a photography sort of art, print, poster store, so that's what we're going to start adding. And just to give you a bit of an idea of my plan for this, we're going to have 3 main product lines, and we're going to have a bunch of products within each line, within each collection. And the main collections are going to be nature, art, cityscapes, and sports cars. And I think I've got 3 products set up for each one. So why don't we start with the cityscape one? You already saw some of those photos from the sliders that we made. So up here we can just enter the name of it. I'll call it, London City Poster. We can just write some quick text for it. And we can add the image that you already saw, which is this nice London image. And whether this is, whether you're selling a pair of shoes or a t-shirt or whatever, all this stuff's going to work exactly the same. And I'll show you all the different options, and there's actually some really cool stuff we can do. So right away we can set the price. We're trying to get off the ground, so we'll make it nice and cheap, 20 bucks. If you want to give people the idea that they're getting a pretty good deal, you can always say it's marked down from some amount, marked down from 30. If you have to charge taxes, then you want to keep this checked. If we're heading down, once you start with your inventory system, you'll start generating SKUs, which are just like product tracking numbers. So you can add that here. Same with the barcode information. If you plan to use an inventory system that they have built into Shopify, you can track the product's inventory with this, so you always know how many you have, how many you've sold, and so on. You can add a weight, and this has to do with shipping. Since this is an online store, you're almost certainly going to be shipping these to people, so it's a good idea to have a good idea of what you're shipping. And the variants, this is a really cool thing. So in our case, we're shipping art prints, so maybe it comes in different sizes. So, small, medium and large, and you could specify that with the actual size or whatever you want. But you can imagine if you were selling t-shirts, you'd have different sizes, shoes, and so on. So just for the sake of argument, let's put in small, medium, large. And these are separated by commas. So right when you put in a comma, it's automatically generating a new one. And you can add more options. Maybe we're going to offer different frame options or something like that. So how about wood, metal, whatever you want, right? All right, so now we have two separate options, and this actually allows us to change the price and all the different things for each individual option. So obviously metal might cost more than wood. A small one's going to cost less than a medium one, so we can call a medium one $50. And for the sake of argument, let's say wood and metal cost the same, and we'll say the large costs $80. And once you save your product, it's as easy as that. And we're going to go ahead and do this same thing. We're going to add a few more products. I think what you can do is actually duplicate a product and name it a new name. So because all the options and everything, maybe the prices are all going to be the same, I can just go ahead and change this to Vancouver, which is one of the other ones that we have, and duplicate it. And now we can go in here and add a custom image for this one. And this will be my Vancouver art print here. All right, and so all the options are going to remain the same. And the product's already saved, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. And I'm going to call it New York, because that's our final one. So I realize now that it actually put a little copy of in there. So if I go back to my product inventory, I can see that it mistakenly put copy of Vancouver. So I can just go in there, change it around. This is how easy it is to customize all your different products and stuff like that. So we can save it up here and head back to products. Now we're going to see that we have all three of these. I'm going to go ahead and stop it now, and I'm going to make the rest of the products just so you don't have to sit here and watch me do every one. I'm going to make 6 more, 3 more nature ones and 3 sports car ones. And then when I come back, all those products will be here, and I'll show you how to organize them into collections. So I'm going to sign off for a second and do that. I've gone ahead and made all 9 of my products, and I noticed a couple of quick things that I want to show you. So if we click into one of these product pages, there's a few fields that I neglected to show you before, and that's over here on the right. The first one is product type. I've gone ahead and made one called art print, and you can have as many product types as you want. It's shoes, shirt, jacket, whatever it is you're selling. And also down here, it has an option for adding tags, and that's just a way of organizing all your products so that similar products have a relationship with each other. So, this is one of nature, so we could call it nature. We can call it whatever we want. And in all these different fields, when you add a new tag or a new product type or anything, it's going to give you this option to add it, and that just means it's going to give you it as an option in the future, so you don't have to keep typing it in over and over again. So that's great. So once we save that and head back out into the main product index, we can see that they're all here. I didn't add the type here, but that's fine. You can go in and make sure that they all have all the relevant information. And the next step will be to organize all of our products into product lines. And in Shopify, they call those collections. So over there on the left, just click on collections, and we can start adding them. And like I said, I'm going to have 3 main collections. That's going to be car posters. So that's the first one we'll do. And just like before, we got to populate all this with some relevant information. This is all just placeholder stuff, of course, but we can head down here, and it gives you a couple of other options. The first one is it's asking you if it wants you to let the system automatically categorize your products. And for me, I don't have a lot of different stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it manually, and it's not that big a deal. So for the collection image, there's a few places on the site where you're going to have an index of different collections. So I'm just going to choose one of these ones. Obviously, you can come up with your own photos for each one, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then once you save it, you can actually start adding product. Once you click here, it's going to bring up a list of all your products, and you can just start checking them off here. So it's pretty easy. We've got 3 products that are going to end up in here. Cool. And the last thing that the collection page allows you to do is to edit some of this. They call it website SEO, and it's really just talking about the content that the search engines are going to be able to see when it comes to your product line. So if you have a really unique product line, you definitely want people to be able to find it through Google or other search engines, and this is where you can start building that stuff. So this is going to actually make like the HTML title and the HTML, the meta description and stuff for Google. So this is really important, and you want to do a little bit of research. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about SEO right now, but just call it what it is and try to go into some detail here. So we'll call it car posters. And you can use lots of really cool keywords and all this sort of stuff. And this URL down here is auto-generated, and it's just this is the address of the page for your collection that people can go to online and find it. So that's just fine. We've got all this stuff saved, and I'm going to go in and make a couple more collections. I'll sign off again so you don't have to sit through this, but I'll be right back. So now we have all 3 of our collections, and I've added all the products to each of the collections, and the next thing we can do is get them to show up on the front page of our site. So the way we do that is to go back into the customizer where we were doing lots of our work before. So if you head over here to the left toolbar, go down to Online Store, click on Themes, and click on Customize Theme, and it'll take us back to this area. And the next one for us to work on is Featured Collections. We can see on the front page, I believe this box right here is where all the featured collections are going to show up. So let's go ahead and click on that, and it's as easy as just assigning each of these to one of our collections. And as you can see, you can do up to 6 of them, but we've only got 3, so that's what we're going to do for now. And the last one is nature posters. So you can see right away it's populating these, and these will actually automatically link through to a collection page for each of them. So if we click on here, it's going to take us right into this nature poster, and however many products we add here, they're all going to show up here. And obviously I'm not that great with colors and everything else, but you can see how it's all coming together, and I'm sure you can see how to make it look a bit better than I have. So let's back up. Let's make sure to save the changes here and back out of here, and then the next thing we'll do is start populating this area with some of our featured products. So let's go ahead and back out, go to homepage, featured products, and start assigning. So basically it's going to show the collection, but it's also going to show each product within the collection. And I think you can tell it how many rows of products. So let's see. Yeah, so you can see we only have 3 products, so it's not even going to fill up one whole row. But say you had 9 or 12 or however many, you can have up to 3 product rows on your homepage. So it doesn't really matter, but for us, we can just choose one. Let's go ahead and assign our other 2 here. So city posters. And we'll leave it on one row, and nature posters. And so you can see over here in the live preview window, it's already starting to populate, and each of these is going to link through to the individual product page. And just a few notes, you can add multiple photos. This is cool, like you see on most stores, you can get a full screen view of the image. You can do lots of cool stuff, but we'll make sure to save those changes before we leave. And then we'll back out of here. And one of the last things I want to show you, as far as this product and content goes, is this featured content. And what we're going to do is back out of here and go and work on the blog a little bit. And, strictly speaking, for an online store, you don't necessarily need to have a blog, but the stuff we talked about before as far as the SEO, like the search engine optimization, Google much prefers sites that have lots of content and lots of stuff happening. So a blog's a really cool way to spotlight new products and talk about sales and pretty much do, let people know what you're up to with your company. So I'd really recommend it. It's a good way to get involved. So let's do that. Over here, we're in the same online store toolbar, and we can click on blog posts. And just like everything else on the Shopify system, it's super easy. So all we have to do is click the Add Blog Post button here and start filling in our information here. Here's the title, so let's just call it our first blog post. And we'll just copy and paste this a bunch of times just as a placeholder text here. And the author is Matt Showell. It's going to go in the news blog. This is the only one we have. It is the default one. You can make new blog categories right here. We want to make it visible. We want to add a feature image. So let's just pick one of our ones that we've used before. And we can add tags similar to the product tags. These are just ways to, relate each blog post to one another. So let's call it city art, whatever. And we can go ahead and save that. And now one really cool thing about this template actually is that it already comes equipped with a blog page. So if we go over here and click on the blog one here, we should actually see our first blog post. And once you start making more blog posts, you're going to see them all show up here, one above the other, like a traditional blog. There's just a few other things that I want to show you. One's the About Us page. Every website you're going to find has one of these. And the way you access this page and all the different pages on your on your Shopify store is right over here. Under blog posts, there's a tool called Pages. And here it's just similar to the blog post. It's an index of all the pages on your site. And you can just click in here and change the content on the page really, really easily. Here, the content they've actually given you here is a little bit of a tutorial on what to put for your About Us page, but there are tons of examples of this everywhere online, so I've got no doubt you can figure this out for yourself. One other page that I think they give you the option of making is a Contact Us page, and I think they have sort of a little built-in template for it, so let's give that a shot. We're going to call it Contact Us, and like most sites, this is just going to give people a really easy way to reach out and get in touch with you. So again, just placeholder text here to save us some time. And over here on the right, we have the templates, and they have the contact page template. So I'm going to go ahead and use that and save it, and we'll see what this looks like. So in order to navigate to this, you can see on our live site here, we've got this main header, and this is how it came standard. It has a link to the catalog, blog, and About Us. And what I want to do is add the contact us page here. And we can actually add whatever we want here. I think you could have links directly to, your nature photos or your different product lines or whatever you want. So let's go check that out. Right here under navigation, it gives us a list of the different menus, and we can actually add separate menus, but this main menu is the one that we're looking at right now that shows up here. And as we saw before, the footer menu is the one that's down here. So this is where you'd change the name of it, what it has in it, and all that stuff that I talked about before for the footer. But let's give it a shot for the main menu right now. So let's hit Edit Menu. And we're going to go ahead and try to add that Contact Us page. So let's hit this Add Menu Item. And we're going to call it the Contact Us. And we're going to assign that contact page. So just select page here, and then it'll give you a rundown of all the pages on your website. So we can click Contact Us, and I'm going to go ahead and save that, and we'll see how this worked out. I haven't done this part before, so let's check it out. So let's reload our live site here. We can see Contact Us and click on that, and great. Just as easy as that. There's a great thing about Shopify. Everything's really set up and super easy to do. So as you can see here, customers can quickly fill out a contact form and get in touch with you right away. So, and I assume the default for this is going to be sending the emails to that email that you signed up for your Shopify site with. Let's head back over here, back to navigation. I just want to do one really quick thing with this footer menu. It doesn't look so good to have it called footer menu down here. It doesn't really make any sense. So what we're going to do is go in here and edit menu. I'm going to call it important links. And down here you can go ahead and add all the menu items that you'd like. You could make it a facsimile of the main menu if you want, or whatever. So we can go ahead and put our Contact Us just as a example of how to do this. So remember, hit page, add Contact Us, and save it. So now when we reload our main site, we should see that footer menu get a new title and a new link. So there we go. Worked great. So I think for now I'm going to leave it at that. We've got a really good handle on this website. It's got a lot of cool stuff. I've shown you how to make product pages and collections and lay out the site and get a theme and customize it and mess with the menus and the logo, all this sort of stuff. And there is more functionality than what I've shown you here, but as you've seen, everything on Shopify is really, really intuitive, and I don't think you're going to have any problems, especially if you followed along so far with this video. So the last thing I want to talk about is getting out of the free trial and actually becoming a paying customer of Shopify and running your business through this online store. So that's all assuming that you like what you see, you like your website, and you're on board with the Shopify sort of agreement. You can go ahead and read that. Once you've done all that and you've made the decision to actually kick off your website formally, you can come back here to this online store toolbar and click on domains. And just like, starting any website, you're going to have to find and register a domain, and that's just the URL up here. And you can actually see during your 14-day trial, your URL has this myshopify.com sort of included in it. And obviously you don't want that in your real online store. So once you become a paying customer, that's not going to be there anymore. And you're actually going to get your very own domain the same way you would if you went to GoDaddy or HostGator or any other service. So once you click on domains, go over here and say you want to buy a domain. If for whatever reason you already had a domain, like you've been holding a domain for this for a while, you can link it up right here. But let's assume that you want to buy a new one. This little tool might look familiar. If you have bought a domain before, it essentially checks domains availability out there. Obviously, there's millions of websites out there, so you're going to have to use a bit of creativity to find a domain that's open, that's available, and also works for you. This tool makes it really easy because you can just check the availability, and obviously that's not going to be available. But use your creative muscles and figure something out that's going to work for you. $13 a year is a pretty standard fee. Like I said, this is something you're going to have to pay no matter where you go to start your website. So don't let that phase you. And so once you find your domain, and like I said, you've made your decision to become a Shopify customer, you can go down here and select your plan. It's got 3 main plans to choose from. The main thing I've noticed here is that the cheaper the plan, the higher the credit card transaction fees are going to be. So it really depends on the volume of business that you're doing. If you're not selling a whole lot and you're just getting started, 0.5% per transaction is not going to kill you. But if you're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business, paying another $150 a month certainly gonna pay off. But I'll leave it up to you to do some research and figure all that stuff out. I hope this video has been really helpful for you. I hope you like what you see. Again, I apologize for my lack of color. I am in fact colorblind, but hopefully it's been beneficial to you. And I will just say one last time, if you would use that link in the description, and I'll put it back up on the screen right now, to start your free trial and eventually to sign up for your Shopify account, I'd really appreciate it, and I can keep making videos like this. Check back for the next one, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks very much. Ciao.